Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Can we start? So, in the last session, we saw what is the definition of seller, what is the definition of buyer, and what is the definition of goods. Today, we will just read out from whatever has been given in your module. So, please everyone open your module, chapter number 3, unit number 1, formation of the contract of sale under the Sale of Goods Act. So, this being just the introduction, you need not learn the introduction. Introduction learn करायची गरज नाही आहे. We will just quickly read out what has been given here. So, as I told you in the previous session as well, कि earlier Sale of Goods Act was a part of Indian Contract Act only. Later on a need was felt की चला आपण goods related जे पण provisions आहे त्यांना आपण separate करून टाकूया. Let's separate the provision relating to goods, that too only the movable goods, okay, and that is why the Sale of Goods 1930 was introduced. So the Sale of Goods Act 1930 deals with laws relating to the sale of goods in India. This act is mainly based on the English Sale of Goods Act. Before Sale of Goods, all the provisions relating to sale was covered under the Indian Contract Act. Later on, a strong need was felt कि एक independent act राहायला पाहिजे which will deal only with the goods, and now the Sale of Goods 1930 was passed. This act came into force on 1st of July 1930 and it extends to whole of India. Sale of goods is one of the specific form of contracts recognized and regulated by the law relating in India. Sale is a typical bargain between the buyer and the seller. The Sale of Goods Act allows the parties to modify the provisions of the act by express stipulation. म्हणजे काय, जिथं जिथं लॉ मेकर्सनी तुम्हाला फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दिलेली आहे, at every place parties you have the chance or you have the right to alter the provisions. कसं हे आपण नंतर बघूयाच once we proceed with the unit. पण हे काही ठिकाणीच तुम्हाला आम्ही मॉडिफिकेशनचा अधिकार देत आहे. At some places you are not allowed to modify. मग बस हे वेगवेगळ्या सेक्शन मध्ये दिलेलं आहे की ठीक आहे, बऱ्याच ठिकाणी दे हॅव सेड की पार्टीज तुम्ही असं करू शकता, हे मॉडिफिकेशन्स यू कॅन डू. ॲट सम प्लेसेस दे हॅव सेड नो पार्टीज यू आर नॉट अलाउड टू डू द मॉडिफिकेशन. The provisions of the Act are applicable relating to contracts relating to sale of goods which are only the movable property. The Act is not applicable to the immovable properties like land, field, shop, house, etc. For immovable, the Transfer of Property Act 1882 is applicable. Sale of goods is only applicable to the movable property. The general provisions of Indian Contract Act are going to apply to Sale of Goods Act. Okay? आणि जे specific provisions आहे त्याच्यासाठी we will refer the Sale of Goods Act. The custom and usages will bind both the parties if these are reasonable and are known to the parties at the time of entering the contract of sale. म्हणजे जे पण तुमचे टर्म्स अँड कंडिशन्स आहे सगळे तुम्ही कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट करतानाच एक दुसऱ्यांना सांगा so that there are no disputes in the future. Coming to the definition. What do you mean by buyer? Buyer is a person who buys, okay, or agrees to buy the goods, okay. Either he buys in case of sale or in case of agreement to sell. He agrees to buy the goods. Same, seller is the one who sells or agrees to sell the goods. In case of sale, sell करणार, agreement to sell मध्ये agrees to sell करणार. The two terms are complementary to each other and the two parties are the parties of the contract of sale. Both the terms are however used in a sense wider than the common meaning. Not only a person who buys but also the one who agrees to buy is a buyer. Similarly, a seller means not only one who sells but also the one who agrees to sell the goods. म्हणजे त्यांनी थोडं ब्रॉड डेफिनेशन दिलं, थोडं ब्रॉड आउटलुक दिलेलं आहे. ओके, इट इज नॉट नॅरो, ओके, द वन हू बाईज, इट इज ऑल्सो द वन हू अग्रीज टू बाय द गुड्स. नेक्स्ट, वी हॅव ऑलरेडी डन दिस. व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय goods? Goods means एव्हरी काइंड ऑफ मुवेबल प्रॉपर्टी. त्या दिवशी तुम्ही एक चार्ट काढलाय, चार्टमध्ये यू हॅव रिटन ऑल दीज थिंग्स की इन्क्लूड्स मध्ये यू स्टार्टेड रायटिंग ki what are the things that are included under goods. So goods includes every kind of movable property. It also includes stock and shares. It also includes growing crops which are agreed to be severed before they are sold. Even it also includes the FDRs. Okay, मी जेवढा अंडरलाइन करते लिहित आहे, even you write only that much now. It also includes the tangible goods. It also includes the intangible goods like goodwill, copyright, trademark, etc. Stock, shares, gas, water, electricity and decree of court are also considered as goods. हे झाले आपले सगळे inclusions. Okay, these are the inclusions which are considered as goods under the Sale of Goods Act. Now what is not included? Actionable claims. Okay, first तर आपण लिहिलेलं the immovable property is not included here. Next, actionable claims not included here, and money is not included under goods. Is it very clear? Mainly आपल्याला मनी मध्ये डील करायचं नाहीये. That is why we say there must be goods in exchange of something. Is it very clear? Okay. So again they have said goods means every kind of movable property other than actionable claim, money and immovable property. It includes stock, shares, growing crops, grass, things attached to. ही लिस्ट थोडी कमी आहे. आपण जी क्लासमध्ये प्रिव्हियस सेशनमध्ये केली आहे, that list is a big list that you can see. Okay, what all are the inclusions of goods? Is it very clear, everyone? Yes, mark this definition. Very, very, very important. Can come for 3 or 4 marks. Okay, what do you mean by goods as per the Sale of Goods Act? This can be the question here. A direct theory question. ओके, डायरेक्ट थेरी जर आलं तर आधी तुम्ही सगळे इन्क्लुजन्स लिहा. गुड्स मीन्स एव्हरी काइंड ऑफ मुवेबल प्रॉपर्टी. इट ऑल्सो इन्क्लूड्स. आणि मग तुम्ही 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 सगळी लिहून घ्या. Leave a line, then say, but goods do not include any kind of immovable property. Also, it does not include the actionable claims, and also it does not include money. In this way, you can complete the definition of goods. Okay, coming to the classification of goods. So write down. Classification of goods. The Sale of Goods Act has given us many types of goods. Yes, the Sale of Goods Act has explained us many type of goods. So one by one, just let's start with the types of goods. So draw a diagram. Okay, types of goods are existing goods, future goods, and contingent goods. The existing goods are further divided into specific goods, ascertained goods, and unascertained goods. And unascertain goods. Just draw this much. One by one, we'll be explaining each type into detail. Done with this much, everyone? Yes. After this, give the heading specific goods. Our first, existing goods. I hope everyone is done with this much. Yes? Everyone, is it done? Give the heading existing goods. Give the heading as existing goods. What do you mean by existing goods? Existing goods are those goods which are in existence, as the name says, which are in existence at the time of contract of sale. In short, which are currently present with the seller. They are those goods which are currently present with the seller for sale of those goods. Okay, जे गुड्स आज एक्झिस्टन्समध्ये आहे त्यांचं काहीतरी एक्झिस्टन्स आहे. ओके, जे करंटली अवेलेबल आहे, प्रेझेंट आहे, एक्झिस्ट आहे विथ द सेलर, दे आर कॉल्ड एज एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, I go to Croma and I tell them I want this Lenovo laptop. I want this particular Lenovo laptop. त्यांच्याकडे भरपूर लॅपटॉप्स ठेवलेले होते फॉर डिस्प्ले. I went to Croma. I saw many laptops are kept for display. I selected, I pointed out at one of the laptop and I said कि I want this laptop only. This Lenovo laptop becomes my existing goods. This Lenovo laptop becomes my existing goods. Why? It is available with Croma for sale. Yes, it is in existence. त्यांनी असं म्हटलं नाही की आउट ऑफ स्टॉक आहे, आम्ही मागवणार मग तुम्हाला देणार, असं काही नाहीये. रेडीली अवेलेबल होतं त्यांच्याकडे. आय वेंट, आय टोल्ड देम आय वॉन्ट दिस. इमिडिएटली ही टुक इट अँड गिव्ह इट टू मी. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? येस, एक्झिस्टिंग म्हणजे ज्यांचे एक्झिस्टन्स आहे आज. ओके, दीज एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स. Okay, done with this much, everyone? Yes? These existing goods are further divided into three categories: specific goods, ascertained goods, unascertained goods. Specific, ascertained and unascertained goods. ओके, आता हे तुमच्यासाठी थोडंसं वेगळं आहे, म्हणजे हे नावं कधी ऐकला नाहीये, बट टायटल्स तर इझी आहे. एक्झिस्टिंग, फ्युचर, कॉन्टिंजंट, नावावरनही बऱ्याच गोष्टी कळून जातात. ओके, कमिंग टू फर्दर क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स, म्हणजेच मी काय लिहू शकते, माय 1A. बरोबर ना एव्हरीवन? 1 मधला ए पार्ट स्पेसिफिक goods. Okay, you have to learn the definitions, everyone. Yes, specific goods म्हणजे काय, असर्टन म्हणजे काय, अनअसर्टन म्हणजे काय, ऍटलीस्ट 2-3 लाईन्स मध्ये तुम्हाला एक्सप्लेन करता यायला पाहिजे इन द एक्झामिनेशन. इज इट क्लिअर? सो स्पेसिफिक गुड्स आर such goods which are identified and agreed at the time the sale is made. There are such goods which are identified and agreed at the time the sale is made. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस मी सेल करत आहे, immediately I can identify them. Okay, it is so easy to identify the goods. It is already identified at the time of entering the contract of sale. It is called as specific goods. For example, the same example which I took previous, now we will just say I go to Croma or I went to Croma. I went to Croma and told that I want a particular TV, a particular Samsung TV. Yes, I want this particular Samsung TV only. I immediately identified and they even agreed to sell me at the time of making the sale only, this is called as specific goods. This Samsung TV becomes a specific good for me. ओके, अल्टिमेटली आपण एक्झिस्टिंग गुडचेच टाईप बघत आहे, म्हणून जे एक्झिस्टिंग सारखंच तुम्हाला वाटणार स्पेसिफिक, पण की ठीक आहे, इमिडिएटली आय एम एबल टू आयडेंटिफाय इट. ओके, even the seller agrees to give me, it becomes a specific good. Is it very clear everyone? Yes, write down this very fast. On purpose मी at ला सर्कल करते, तुम्ही पण असं at ला एक सर्कल करून टाका. Yes, purposely I am circling the at word, even you do the same. Clear with this? Yes. Coming to the third one. Okay, purposefully third लिहिते, 1C. I know 1B लिहिलेलं नाही आहे, but first I have to tell you what do you mean by uncertain goods. Uncertain goods जर तुम्हाला कळाले तरच तुम्हाला असर्टन कळतील. ओके, अनअसर्टन आधी तुम्हाला कळावा लागेल टू अंडरस्टँड व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय असर्टन गुड्स. ओके, अनअसर्टन गुड्स. Uncertain goods are those goods which are not specifically identified only. Yes, ज्यांना मी आयडेंटिफायच केलेलं नाही आहे, they are called as the uncertain goods. So write down. Such goods are not specifically identified at the time of contract of sale. हे असे गुड्स आहे जे आम्ही स्पेसिफिकली आयडेंटिफायच अजून केलेले नाही आहे. येस, आहे एक्झिस्टन्स मध्येच आहे. दीज गुड्स आर ऑल्सो इन एक्झिस्टन्स, बट I have not specifically identified them. They are called as the uncertain goods. For example, म्हणजे आतापर्यंत मला काहीच कळलं नसेल. येस, आतापर्यंत मी जे बोलते तुम्हाला काही कळालंही नसेल की व्हॉट एम आय एम टेलिंग. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल, आय वेंट टू अ शॉप, अ जनरल स्टोर. I went to a general store, okay, asking them, give me 5 packets of Maggi. Asking them that give me 5 packets of Maggi. Okay, आता या जनरल स्टोर वाल्याकडे he has around 100 packets of Maggi. Okay, तो काय फक्त 5 किंवा 10 पॅकेट्स नाही, he has 100 packets of Maggi kept in his store. Okay, एक मोठा, you can see a bunch of Maggi is kept there at his store. I went and I told him, भैया एक 5 packets Maggi तरी द्या. Okay, now when I tell them give me 5 packets of Maggi, we never know की या पूर्ण बंच मधनं कोणते 5 पॅकेट तुम्हाला देणार आहे. Yes, out of this 100 packets, he can give me any 5 packets randomly. वर ठेवलेले देईल, साईडला ठेवलेले, खाली ठेवलेले. Okay, any packets, any 5 packets he will just randomly pick and he will give me. Okay, so this particular 100 packets of Maggi is nothing but the uncertain goods. This particular 100 packets of Maggi is nothing but the uncertain goods. And when 5 packets are separated, from the lot of 100 packets, when 5 packets of Maggi is separated from the lot of 100 packets, then these 5 packets become my ascertained goods. Become my ascertained goods. Are you understanding? Yes, uncertain म्हणजे असे गुड्स जे एक मोठ्या लॉट मध्ये ठेवलेले आहेत. ओके, बिग लॉट ऑफ गुड्स, इट इज कॉल्ड एज अनसर्टन गुड्स. हे ना आम्ही काय स्पेसिफिकली आयडेंटिफायच केलेलं नाही आहे. बट या अनसर्टन मधनं ज्या वेळेस मी क्वांटिटी सेपरेट करते, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इथं 5 पॅकेट्स. ओके, द मोमेंट आय सेपरेट माय 5 पॅकेट्स आउट ऑफ दी 100 पॅकेट्स, दीज 5 पॅकेट्स बिकम माय ascertained goods. Is it very clear? Yes, is it very clear everyone? So, to conclude, the 100 packets kept in lots are the unascertained goods, and the 5 packets that are separated from the lot are my ascertained goods. Are my ascertained goods. Are you all understanding this? Yes, write it very fast. Write it very fast, everyone. Whatever we have discussed, write everything very fast. Next, write down. We cannot make a sale of unascertained goods. We cannot make a sale of unascertain goods. म्हणजे अनअसर्टन आहे तसं आम्ही कधी देऊच नाही शकत. The unascertained goods must first be ascertained. Must first be ascertained, then only a sale can take place. Then only a sale can take place. ओके, कारण का अनसर्टन आहे, आम्हाला माहिती नाही शॉपकीपर आम्हाला कोणते पॅकेट्स देणार आहे. इट इज ऑल डन रँडमली. ओके, सो दीज अनसर्टन गुड्स आम्ही आहे असं सेल कधी करूच नाही शकत. आधी त्यांना मला सेपरेट करावं लागेल. देन ओनली अ सेल इज पॉसिबल. एव्हरीवन, आर यू अंडरस्टँडिंग what do you mean by uncertain and ascertained? Yes. Now write down our second one, 1B, ascertained goods. Write down 1B, ascertained goods. So the definition: such goods are identified after the contract of sale. हे आम्ही आयडेंटिफाय करतो आफ्टर मेकिंग द कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट ऑफ सेल. ओके, की आधी मी कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट करणार की मला 5 पॅकेट्स द्या, त्याच्यानंतर कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट केल्यानंतर आफ्टर द कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट माय क्वांटिटी इज आयडेंटिफाईड. ओके, माय गुड्स आर आयडेंटिफाईड, दे आर कॉल्ड एज द असर्टन गुड्स. ओके, टू समराइज, एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स आर दोज गुड्स विच आर इन एक्झिस्टन्स. ओके, त्याचे बरेच टाइप्स आहेत, 3 टाइप्स आहेत. स्पेसिफिक गुड्स आर दोज गुड्स विच आय एम आयडेंटिफाइंग ॲट द टाइम ऑफ द सेल. ओके, असर्टन गुड्स आर दोज गुड्स विच आर आयडेंटिफाइड आफ्टर मेकिंग द कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट ऑफ सेल. अँड अनअसर्टन गुड्स हे असे गुड्स आहेत ज्यांना आम्ही स्पेसिफिकली आयडेंटिफायच केलेले नाही आहे, विच आर नॉट स्पेसिफिकली आयडेंटिफाइड. व्हेरी क्लिअर एव्हरीवन? येस. कमिंग टू युअर बुक्स. Goods are classified as existing goods, future goods, and contingent goods. Existing goods. These are such goods which are in existence at the time of कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट ऑफ सेल. दॅट इज दे आर ओन्ड अँड पोजेस्ड और अक्वायर्ड बाय द सेलर. सेलरकडे ही सगळी गुड्स आज रेडी आहे, त्यांनी ऑलरेडी आपल्या पोझिशनमध्ये गुड्स घेऊन ठेवलेले आहे. दे आर कॉल्ड एज द एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स. एक्झिस्टिंग गुड्स आर ऑफ 3 टाइप्स: स्पेसिफिक गुड्स, असर्टन गुड्स, and the unascertained goods. Specific goods are those goods which are identified and agreed at the time of contract of sale. Identified and agreed at the time of contract of sale. So any specified and finally decided goods like Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, Whirlpool washing machine, TV, phone, etc. etc. in Chroma. A had 5 cars of different models. He agreed to sell this car, म्हणजे त्याच्यातली he agreed to sell his Santro car to B and B agreed to purchase the same car. In this case, sale is for specific good as the car has been identified and agreed at the time of contract of sale. म्हणजे तुम्ही एक सेकंड हँड शोरूम मध्ये गेला, ओके, बरेच कार्स ठेवलेले, तुम्ही इमिडिएटली आयडेंटिफाय केला, ठीक आहे, गिव्ह मी दिस पर्टिक्युलर सँट्रो कार. This Santro car becomes a specific good. It is identified while making the contract only at the time of contract. Certain goods are those goods which are identified after the contract of sale. This term is not defined in the act but as judicially interpreted. In actual practice, certain goods and specific goods हे आम्ही दोन्ही ऑल्टरनेटिव्हली यूज करतो. ओके, दोन्हीमध्ये काय खूपसा फरक नाहीये, दे आर ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर. बट असर्टेड म्हणजे काय की एक मोठ्या लॉटमधनं सेपरेट करणं, आणि स्पेसिफिक म्हणजे आहे ते एक्झिस्टन्समध्ये उचलून तुम्हाला इमिडिएटली दिले जातील. When here they have defined as well. Out of a large lot or out of large quantity of uncertain goods, the number of quantity contracted is identified. Such identified goods are called as uncertain goods. A wholesaler of cotton has 100 bales in his godown. He agrees to sell 50 bales and these 50 bales were selected and set aside. ज्या मोमेंटला आम्ही यांना सेट असाइड केलो, हे set aside quantity becomes my ascertained goods. On selection, the goods become ascertained. In this case, the contract is for sale of ascertained goods as the cotton bales to be sold are identified and agreed after the formation of the contract. It may be noted that before the ascertainment of goods, the contract was for uncertain goods. म्हणजे आधी ते अनसर्टन होते कारण का लॉट्स मध्ये ठेवलेले, या लॉट मधून त्यांना आम्ही सेपरेट केल्या, आता ते असर्टन झालेले आहेत. म्हणजे हा मोठा लॉट, इथे भरपूर सारे गुड्स ठेवलेले आहेत, ह्याच्यातले 5 क्वांटिटी बाहेर काढल्या, this 5 quantity becomes the ascertained and this whole lot remains the unascertained goods. Unascertained goods are those goods which are not specifically identified or ascertained at the time of making the contract. They are indicated only by description or sample. म्हणजे तुम्ही फक्त जाऊन त्यांना म्हणणार की ठीक आहे, गिव्ह मी मॅगी, यू डिस्क्राईब देम. ओके, काही वेळा सॅम्पल घेऊन जाते, ओके मला ह्या टाईपचं व्हीट द्या, ह्या टाईपचं राईस द्या, यू टेल देम बाय सॅम्पल. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? If A agrees to sell to B 1 packet of salt out of a lot of 100 packets lying in his shop, it is for the sale of uncertain goods because it is not known which packet is to be delivered. As soon as a particular packet is separated from the lot, this separated quantity becomes the ascertained goods. X has 10 horses. He promises to sell one of them but does not specify which horse he will sell. It is a contract of uncertain goods. The moment one horse is separated, this separated horse becomes my ascertained goods. Very clear with this, everyone? Yes, very, very, very clear. Coming to the second one. Coming to our second type. Future goods. Coming to our second type, that is future goods, means such goods which are currently not in existence. आता करंटली हे एक्झिस्टन्स मध्येच नाहीये, त्याला आपण म्हणतो फ्युचर गुड्स. Such goods are yet to be manufactured or produced or acquired. these goods are yet to be manufactured or produced or acquired. फ्युचर मध्ये गुड्स एक्झिस्टन्स मध्ये येणार आहे. इन शॉर्ट, these goods will come in existence in the future. These goods will come in existence in the future. अजून मी ते मॅन्युफॅक्चर करायचे. आय एम येट टू मॅन्युफॅक्चर. ओके, जर टॉवेल्स असेल तर मी त्यांचं मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग करणार. व्हीट असेल तर व्हीटला मी प्रोड्यूस करणार. ओके, किंवा दुसऱ्या कंट्रीमधनं दुसऱ्या स्टेटमधनं मी ते अक्वायर करणार. इट इज कॉल्ड एज फ्युचर गुड्स. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? येस. ओके, आता मला सांगा, फ्युचर गुड्सचा सेल होणार की अग्रीमेंट टू सेल होणार? थिंक अँड आन्सर. फ्युचर गुड्सचा सेल होणार की अग्रीमेंट टू सेल होणार? फ्युचर गुड्सचं ऑब्वियसली इट विल ऑपरेट ॲज अग्रीमेंट टू सेल. का? कारण का गुड्स एक्झिस्टन्स मध्येच नाही आहे. दे विल कम इन एक्झिस्टन्स इन द फ्युचर अँड दॅट इज वाय फ्युचर गुड्स ऑलवेज ऑपरेट ॲज अग्रीमेंट टू सेल. Always operate as agreement to sell. Okay, done with writing everyone? So write for example. For example, Ram and Sham. Ram and Sham, they both entered into a contract for 1,000 pieces of towel. Ram and Sham, they both entered into a contract for 1,000 pieces of towel. Ram the seller, Sham the buyer. But Ram काय करायचं, एवढं स्टॉक कधी मेंटेन करायचा नाही. ओके, जसं ऑर्डर येणार तसं तो आयदर मॅन्युफॅक्चर करणार, ओके, किंवा मग जितनं पण he used to acquire, he will acquire the towels. Okay, as per order. He used to do or he used to make the contract as per the order. So in this case, when he does not have the stock of towels, okay, the towels are not in existence. Towels were not in existence. They will called as फ्युचर गुड्स. ते फ्युचर मध्ये एक्झिस्टन्स मध्ये येणार. आयदर तो स्वतः मॅन्युफॅक्चर करणार किंवा तो बाहेरनं मुंबईवरनं जाऊन अक्वायर करणार होता. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? ऑब्वियसली जर गुड्स एक्झिस्टन्स मध्येच नाही त्यांचं सेल कसं होणार? येस, हाऊ विल आय डू सेल ऑफ इट? आय विल ऑलवेज डू अन अग्रीमेंट टू सेल. राम आणि श्याम मध्ये सेल कधी होऊच नाही शकत. या दोघांमध्ये नेहमी ते अग्रीमेंट टू सेलच असणार. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? फॉर एक्झाम्पल, माझ्या घरी फर्निचरचं काम आहे, ओके, किंवा क्लासेसमध्ये आय वॉन्ट टू मेक 100 बेंचेस. कार्पेंटरकडे ही डज नॉट हॅव दॅट इन स्टॉक. ही विल टेल, ओके, आय विल मेक इट फॉर यू ॲज पर युअर ऑर्डर. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज फ्युचर गुड्स. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर एव्हरीवन? येस, very clear with this? So future goods, they always operate as agreement to sell. Is it very clear? Yes. Coming to the third one, coming to the third category, that is आपला आपण नंबरिंग कसं केलंय? 1 नाही, आपण 3च लिहिलंय, बरोबर? Coming to the third one, and that is contingent goods. Coming to the third one, and that is contingent goods. So now what do you mean by contingent goods? Contingent goods are also those goods which such goods do not exist at the time of contract of sale. They do not exist at the time of contract of sale. Now contingent, okay, या वर्डचा मीनिंग काय आहे? व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय कॉन्टिंजंट? इट मे और मे नॉट हॅपन. येस, कॉन्टिंजंट ह्याचा अर्थ काय? डिपेंडेंट. ओके, कॉन्टिंजंटचा अर्थ काय? डिपेंडेंट. ओके, अँड इट इज डिपेंडेंट अपॉन अन अनसर्टन इव्हेंट. When it is dependent upon an uncertain event, it is called as contingent goods. Is it very clear? हे goods पण आज existence मध्ये नाही आहे. For example, so let's say one side is the buyer, another side is the seller. One side is the buyer, another side is the seller. Okay, दोघांमध्ये कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट झालं for some t-shirts, for some 100 pieces of t-shirt. Okay, now contract झालं, let's say on 1st of January 2024 was the contract date. Okay, नाव या सेलरकडे तर या 100 पीसेस आज एक्झिस्टन्स मध्ये नाही आहे. ही डज नॉट हॅव दीज 100 पीसेस इन एक्झिस्टन्स. सो व्हॉट इज द सेलर टेलिंग द बायर? सेलर इज टेलिंग दॅट आय हॅव अ शिप. Okay, does this look like a ship? Yes, everyone. So, what is the seller telling the buyer? Ki see, I have ordered the t-shirts from Bangkok. Okay, I have ordered the t-shirts from Bangkok. If my ship arrives before 10th of January 2024, if my ship arrives before 10th of January 2024, then I will give you the t-shirts. Okay, so what is the seller telling the buyer? If my ship arrives before 10th of January 2024, I will give you the t-shirts. Okay, but now why is my this contract called as a contingent contract? Yes, because my main contract is dependent upon arrival of ship. Main contract is dependent upon the arrival of ship, and this ship may come or may not come. एकदम कॉन्टिंजन्सी आम्हाला काही माहिती नाहीये. 50% चान्सेस आहे हॅपनिंगचे, तर 50% चान्सेस आहे ऑफ नॉट हॅपनिंग. ओके, इक्वल प्रोबॅबिलिटी आहे दोन्याची. इट माइट हॅपन, इट माइट नॉट हॅपन. ओके, सो माय मेन कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट ऑफ t-shirt is dependent upon the arrival of ship, and this arrival of ship is totally uncertain event. It is totally a uncertain event. Ship येऊ पण शकते in case tsunami आली. Okay, काही झालं, cyclone, tsunami, anything, and what if the ship sinks in the water? My t-shirts will never come down to India. Okay, so this contract is called as contingent because my main contract is dependent upon the arrival of ship, and this arrival of ship is totally uncertain event. It may happen, it might come, or might not come. अँड आय डोंट हॅव एनी होल्ड ऑन दिस सिच्युएशन. माझं या सिच्युएशनवर काहीच टाईप ऑफ होल्ड नाही आहे. दॅट इज वाय इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज कॉन्टिंजंट. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? येस, द क्लासिक, द बेस्ट, द युनिव्हर्सल एक्झाम्पल ऑफ कॉन्टिंजंट गुड इज द अरायवल ऑफ शिप. Is it very clear? So just write down. Okay, done with the diagram. Everyone wrote down this example. Write it very fast. I'll wait for a minute. Write down the example very fast. Then we will say, or we will write down what do you mean by contingent goods. Okay, contingent contract पण आहे your unit number 6. Yes, quasi and contingent. युनिट 6 मध्ये आपण सगळी गोष्टी एकदम डिटेलमध्ये करणार आहे. ओके, राईट डाऊन. हियर द execution of the main contract is dependent on an uncertain event. Is dependent upon an uncertain event. My uncertain event is the arrival of ship. My uncertain event is the arrival of the ship. And this is totally contingent. म्हणजे काय? हो पण शकते. कॉन्टिंजंट लिहिण्यापेक्षा विल से इट इज टोटली अनसर्टन. यू हॅव ऑलरेडी रिटन. ओके, इट इज कोलॅटरल टू द मेन कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. इट इज कोलॅटरल टू द मेन कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. ओके, आधी आता कॉन्टिंजंट कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट म्हणजे काय हे लिहून घ्या. मग कॉन्टिंजंट गुड्स म्हणजे काय we will write down. So write down, what do you mean by contingent contract? Contingent contract are those contracts. Contingent contracts are those contracts which are dependent upon the happening or non-happening, which are dependent upon the happening or non-happening of a future uncertain event.
Mama.
To choose. So contingent contract are those contracts which are dependent upon happening or non-happening of future uncertain event. Understood? म्हणजे अशा टाइपची कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट टोटली डिपेंडेंट आहे का अनसर्टन इव्हेंटवर, अँड दॅट अनसर्टन इव्हेंट माइट हॅपन और माइट नॉट हॅपन. इज इट क्लिअर? नेक्स्ट, राईट डाऊन कॉन्टिंजंट गुड्स. कॉन्टिंजंट गुड्स. आता कॉन्टिंजंट गुड्स म्हणजे काय? हियर द ॲक्विजिशन ऑफ गुड्स by the seller. Here the acquisition of goods by the seller depends upon an uncertain contingency. It depends upon an uncertain event. Here the acquisition of goods by the seller depends upon an uncertain event. म्हणजे काय? आज सेलर तुम्हाला सांगत आहे, जसं in this example my seller is telling me that he is ready to give me the goods, okay, but this the acquisition, okay, हे goods seller कडे येणार की नाही This only I'm not sure. Yes, the acquisition of the goods by the seller is dependent on some contingency. This goods might come or might not come. Goods आले तर मी तुम्हाला देऊ शकते, नाही आले I won't be able to complete this contract. Is it very clear? This is called as contingent goods. Very clear with this? Yes. If at all you tell me माझा एक आर्ट गॅलरी आहे, तुम्ही मला म्हणता एक फेमस पेंटरची पेंटिंग यू वॉन्ट, ओके, त्या पेंटरचं फक्त एकच पीस आहे इन दिस एंटायर वर्ल्ड, ओनली वन पीस डन बाय दॅट पेंटर, ओके. यू कम एंड टेल मी, ओके, आय वॉन्ट टू मेक अ कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट विथ यू फॉर दॅट पर्टिक्युलर पेंटिंग. What I tell you, okay, I'll try if I can acquire that painting. Yes, if I can acquire that painting, if I'm able to acquire it, I will sell it to you. If I am not successful in acquiring it, I might not sell it to you. Is it very clear? And hence it is called as a contingent goods. आता तुम्ही सांगा, contingent goods सेल होणार की अग्रीमेंट टू सेल होणार? व्हॉट विल हॅपन ऑफ द contingent goods? आय थिंक तुम्हाला जास्त वेळ पण नाही लागायला पाहिजे. व्हॉट विल हॅपन विथ द contingent goods? They will always operate as an agreement to sell. They will always operate as an agreement to sell. Hence कधी सेल होऊच नाही शकत. Yes, sale can never take place because I only don't have the possession of these goods. So in this case, they will always operate as an agreement to sell. Is it very clear, everyone? Yes. Done with writing, everyone? Yes, done with writing. Coming to your books. Future goods means those goods which are yet to be manufactured or produced or acquired by the seller after making the contract. म्हणजे आता तुम्ही कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट करणार, नंतर आता त्याचं मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग प्रोसिजर स्टार्ट होणार. A contract for future goods is always an agreement to sell. It can never be an actual sale because you cannot transfer what you don't have. Okay, what is not in existence cannot be transferred as well. 100 quintals or 1000 quintals of potatoes to be grown on A's field is an example of agreement to sell and they are going to come in existence in the future. म्हणून याला मी future goods पण म्हणत आहे. P agrees to sell to Q all the milk that his cow may yield during the coming year. This is for the sale of future goods. कारण का year नंतर आयला अंडरस्टँड ओके किती milk has already been given. He agrees to sell to S all the oranges which will be produced in his garden this year. It is a contract of future goods amounting to agreement to sell. Very clear? Contingent goods. The acquisition of goods which depend upon an uncertain contingency are called as contingent goods. The acquisition of goods which depend upon an uncertain contingency. Ship might come or ship might not come. It is totally an uncertain event. It is called as contingent goods. They also operate as an agreement to sell and can never be a sale because it is not there in existence. In other words, like future goods, in case of contingent goods also, the property does not pass to buyer at the time of contract. Okay, it passes once I get the possession of the goods. Is it very clear, everyone? Hello. So even in this case, the property passes after we take the possession. आज तर माझ्याकडे गुड्स नाही आहे म्हणून आज मी ती प्रॉपर्टी किंवा ओनरशिप पण तुम्हाला नाही देऊ शकत. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? प्रॉपर्टी या वर्डचा अर्थ आहे द ओनरशिप इन द गुड्स. डज नॉट पास ॲट द टाइम ऑफ कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. इट पासेस व्हेन आय ॲक्च्युअली अक्वायर द गुड्स. He agrees to sell to be a Picasso painting provided he is able to purchase it from the present owner. This is a contract for contingent goods because I might either be able to procure it or मी नाही सक्सेसफुल होणार in getting that painting. Is it very clear? Next, he contracts to sell 50 pieces of a particular article provided the ship which is bringing them reaches the port safely. This is an agreement to sell of contingent goods because the ship might arrive, because the ship might come or might not come. Because the ship will arrive or will not arrive, okay, may arrive, may not arrive. So, provided the arrival of ship, and here my arrival of ship is totally an uncertain event. Is it very clear? So, whenever you make a contract, okay, and your main contract, my main contract is dependent on some uncertain event, in this case, this type of goods, जे पण हे माझे टी शर्ट्स आहे, ओके, इन आर एक्झाम्पल माय टी शर्ट, दे बिकम एन वी कॅन से कॉन्टिंजंट गुड्स. इज इट व्हेरी क्लिअर? जे टी शर्ट्स येणार होते फ्रॉम बँकॉक, दीज टी शर्ट्स दे बिकम द कॉन्टिंजंट गुड्स, आणि या पूर्ण कॉन्ट्रॅक्टला वी टेल देम ॲज कॉन्टिंजंट कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट. Very clear with this, everyone? Yes. So this was all for the day. In the next session, we'll be starting with what do you mean by delivery of goods and what are the different types of delivery. Until then, bye. See you. Take care. And I request you, please complete your summary notes. Yes. See you all in the next session.